What are we replicas anyway? What do you mean? You're people. We only look like people. I don't think we'll be treated like people. We know Luke, we know Ion, and Sync. We understand that replicas are no different from ordinary people, but most people see pharmacy only as a means to create copies of inanimate objects. So they see replicas as simple copies or substitutes. Maybe a few will accept them, but... So where do we go? Where can we live? We're as helpless as small children. Luke. Jade, you created us. You know everything, don't you? Luke. Yelling at Jade won't accomplish anything. Sorry. No, it's the truth. I can't find an answer, I'm ashamed to say. What good is this head of mine, I wonder? We gotta go to Teodoro. Tales of the Abyss is probably like one of the longer games. Like I knew the game was long, but like it really is, it's a little longer, like the story, even the story, not just the side quests. I mean, obviously the side quests I had no idea how much there were because I'd never done the side content, but even the story is like definitely one of the longer ones. Like this game is definitely longer than Symphonia. It's probably like longer, maybe the story alone. I'm thinking about it now, I feel like the story might be just a tad longer than Vesperia. Maybe not like side content and story, but the story itself might be just as long, maybe even longer than Vesperia. Maybe not even too far from Arise's main story. Because like it's really like, you can like pinpoint like, oh, Tales of the Abyss, this is what happens, but actually going through the story, it is pretty like long. It's a lengthy main story, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not like saying it in a negative way.
Welcome, all of you. The situation has become quite grave, hasn't it?
It's not really like a negative way, although I will say Act 2 did kind of drag at certain points, but Act 2 was still fine. Act 2 is like my least favorite act by far. But it definitely is like a lot longer than I remember, because I knew the game was like one of the longer ones, like probably around Symphonia's length. But if I were to like think about just main story, like how long the main stories were, this game wouldn't be too far like from Arise's main story length, now that I think about it. Because I associate Tales of Arise as like one of the longest main stories, but if I were to think about this compared to Arise, it probably wouldn't be too much of a difference, as I expect.
Grandfather, we've come here today to consult with you.
I understand. Now that we've lost Phone Master Ion, I am the logical representative to attend the summit.
Then you'll...
Yes. I'll head to Doth shortly.
That's great.
We should tell Father. The summit can now finally begin.
Oh, thank you for fast traveling me to Bathical. But yeah, Tales of the Abyss, I remember like when I wanted to start the playthrough, I've been wanting to do it. I think I wanted to do it. There was a certain section I wanted to do it, and I was like, oh, I really want to play Tales of the Abyss.
That's odd. There seem to be more people here than before.
And it was crazy, like, oh, Crisis Core is releasing, but I don't want to wait like 2 more months to do Abyss. And I was like, I could probably finish Abyss, but it definitely was longer. It was a bigger project to undertake than I expected. Again, not to say that it's been bad. I would probably have expected Abyss to get anywhere from like the 50 to 60 hour range, but we might pass the 60 hour mark. Because we're like 50 hours right now, but looking at the side quest that I want to do and how much story there is, which there's still a good bit to go, we're probably going to be spending at least another 10 hours, maybe like 15 at the most. I don't think we'll get to 70 hours. We might not be too far though from 70.
Hey, couldn't those be replicas?
What's going on? What are replicas doing in a place like this?
Looks like we should see what's going on in the city before seeing His Majesty.
Do I need to actually look around? Overall, though, I'm not saying it in like a negative way, like, oh, I want it to be over, because overall, I'm still really enjoying the game, and I'm not necessarily like feeling drag or anything. It's just a little unexpected, because I was not expecting this playthrough to go as long as it's going to. And that's mostly the side content. I think I just underestimated how much side content was in the game, because I hadn't done most of the side content. Like 90% of the side quests I've never even done. That's mostly where it came in. Like the story was more or less about the length I predicted. Maybe longer than I predicted.
What the hell? Who are you? Don't come any closer!
What are you doing? Stop it!
Hey, that thing's a monster! Don't get near it!
Huh? What do you mean a monster?
That's my buddy who died 2 weeks ago on his way back from getting his score reading. No, my buddy's dead. That thing, it's an imposter. But he looks just like him.
A replica.
Calm down. This person is no monster.
Fine. He's still a freak.
Rem. The Tower of Rem.
What's this Tower of Rem the replicas are talking about?
It's the name of an ancient tower that stands in the Cliffoth. It's from the Dawn Age, part of a plan to travel to another planet should they fail to create the Outer Lands.
Another planet? Is that even possible?
Supposedly it was a radical idea, even at the time.
If they couldn't do it in the Dawn Age, it's just a dream for us. We can barely fly.
So these replicas are trying to reach the Outer Lands through that tower? Even if that's the case, how could they all know about the Tower of Rem?
If one were to implant the memory of the Tower of Rem when they were created, it's unlikely, but not impossible.
We're not reaching any conclusions here. Let's stop for now and go see the king.
You're right.
Tower of Rem should be coming up because that's listed as the next milestone and the final milestone for the side quests. I think like once we do the Tower of Rem, majority of the side quests will be available to us.
Ask for salvation from the new order of Lorelei.
Respect the score! I will not sit by and be smothered by the miasma.
My father in Casedonia died from this outbreak of miasma.
I don't want to go to the Cliffoth! Put me back on the old Outer Lands!
Calm down. Everyone just calm down. Cease this at once.
Shut up!
Natalia!
Silence. I am Natalia. Natalia Luzu Kimlaska Landvaldir. Beloved citizens of Kimlaska, I beseech you to be calm. Hear what I have to say.
Your Highness! The miasma! At this rate, we're all done for!
We are aware of the situation and are doing everything we can to stop the miasma.
Why don't we just raise the ground again like before?
That's not possible. The Outer Lands of the New Order of Lorelei are created by destroying the land we have now. The appearance of Eldrant has caused several islands in the Central Ocean to disappear. This land will be erased, and you along with it.
But that can't be! You all know better by now. What good can come from obsessing over the score? Yulia's score never predicted that the Outer Lands would fall into the Cliffoth.
That's because we didn't obey the score.
Why should we obey it? A prophecy that only comes true if you obey it is no prophecy at all. The score is not a future set in stone. It's just one of many possible futures.
I ask you all to please give us just a little more time. If we cannot come up with a solution in time, we will petition the new Order of Lorelei for help.
Princess Natalia, we believe in you.
As long as the miasma goes away, we've got no complaints with His Majesty's rule.
The miasma has already killed several people. Now there are replicas? These weird human things just hang around and root through our property.
We just want to live a normal, peaceful life!
Human things.
Luke, they're just upset. Once they calm down and get a grip on the situation...
It's fine. It's fine.
They're people, they'll get over it. Humans are like that. Janine, welcome to stream. How much time am I at? Streaming for almost 2 hours. I'm expecting a call from my brother probably around 4 to 4:30. Like I said, this is gonna be one of those streams where I just have to like split it in two. Once I get a call from my brother, I am going to have to end stream because I have to help my brother with something. So I am going to have to do that. I don't know when that'll be yet, but I'm expecting at least 4, and it's like 3 minutes to 4 o'clock my time. So I'm expecting like sometime soon at the earliest, but I don't know when to expect it. But at the earliest, like at the 2-hour mark, I would expect to have to end this stream, and I'll have to come back to it like 2 to 3 hours later or something. Maybe like around 7 EST, depending. Anyway, though, let's make some progress before that happens. The score really does wield sway over people's hearts. It will take time for that to change. And with the world full of miasma and weird human things like me, Luke, don't put it that way. No, I think that's probably how we look to ordinary people. We don't have mothers or fathers, after all. Well, I know it's mean to Luke, but as far as normal people are concerned, it's bad enough already without the score, and now these things are popping up all over the place. Fear is infectious. At this rate, there could be riots worldwide. It all depends on how well the rulers can lead their people. Problem after problem in this game. Oh, let me put the game back on normal. We're not gonna get to a boss fight for a minute now. My original plan was gonna be to start stream at 12 EST, but I had some stuff to take care of this morning. Like I had errands to run, and I couldn't make that happen. That would have been the plan. The plan was originally to have a 4 to 5 hour stream straight, but I had to start late because I had some other stuff, so this is the best alternative.
Oh, Natalia, what the devil has happened to Mose?
We're looking into that now ourselves.
Well, at the moment, we can't openly cross him. We do not intend to give in to him, but many people still have faith in the score. If we were to oppose it, it could lead to violence.
Damn.
I just really want to kill Mose already.
His Majesty is also working to settle the issues of the replicas, but there are too many to accept as refugees, and the city's public safety is suffering.
A small riot broke out when a replica went to his own funeral. Several people died. And there's the matter of feeding them all. These replicas are such a headache. Ah, Luke, I'm not talking about you. Don't let it upset you.
Your Majesty, I propose we work on an allied response with the Malkuth ambassador.
Agreed. I leave that to you.
By the way, Father, all sides have agreed to hold that summit on the score.
I see. You've made a fine ambassador, Natalia. I'm proud of you. The timing is perfect. All three powers can agree on how the score is to be handled. I also intend to propose taking joint military action against the New Order of Lorelei.
That makes sense. This world is about to get erased because of that replica land.
That said, any direct attack on Eldrint is precluded by the planet storm.
Yes, another headache. And we'll need to discuss the replica issue as well.
Is the replica problem really that bad?
It's better than it was. It seems they're headed to a place called the Tower of Rem. Many have already left. But between clashes with the citizens and the stress on the economy, they caused quite an uproar. There were enough of them for an entire country, and the majority couldn't speak a word. Some people tried to snatch up replicas for untoward purposes.
So there really is no place for replicas.
These problems only arose from a lack of preparedness and infrastructure.
It's also an emotional matter for many. Replicas are identical copies of the originals.
In any case, this summit comes first. Gather the advisors together to formulate Kimlaska's policy. And you all should wait at Duke Fabra's manor until things are settled here.
Father, please allow me to participate.
Very well.
Natalia, we're all counting on you.
Thank you.
Your Majesty, we also have a report concerning that other issue.
Come to my chambers later.
Understood.
Like father, like daughter. Those two sure do look different. Those two. Natalia and Largo. Natalia so elegant and beautiful. She's probably got it from her mother. I sure wouldn't want to see a Natalia that got— I didn't get to read that. She'd certainly be taller than you. I'm still growing. Huh? What is it? That text with Largo went so fast. I was just imagining a Natalia that looked like Largo. Well, I imagine she'd be quite the character. Yeah, I don't want to imagine that. That sounds awful. I am trying to think here. Yeah, I didn't get a call yet, so I'm going to keep going until I get a call from my brother. I would assume I'd get a text message first, is what I'm mostly referring to. But go on my Discord. If you're not in my Discord, then my Discord, you'll know exactly when I go live again. Or just, you know, if you're following me, you'll see it. I want to say 6 EST. I don't know how long it'll take. It might have to be 7, though.
I see. So that Largo fellow really is Natalia's true father.
Yes, sir. There's no doubt.
What to do? That child could very well be forced to battle her own father.
Natalia still doesn't know. There's always the option of not telling her at all.
Yeah, knowing the truth doesn't always bring happiness.
How about you? Luke, what do you think?
When I found out I was a replica, I felt like I didn't want to know. I was sad, but I had already begun to get a sense that I wasn't really myself. If I hadn't known, I would have been in complete despair. I'd have just given up on everything. I know her case is completely different, but I think it's probably better to know.
I think you're right. Ignorance can be bliss. But the idea of us knowing while Natalia, the one in question here, doesn't, it feels wrong to me.
It'll only make it more painful when she finds out later.
You're right. Give me some time to think it over.
Yes, Your Majesty.
I'll use this time to go to Malkuth to suggest the Emperor settle on a policy. I'll be borrowing the Albior.
Well then, what's it going to be, Luke? Back to the manor?
Yeah.
Luke, what's wrong?
Yeah, you're acting weird, Luke. Off in your own little world.
Luke!
Lorelei, or is it?
Hey, Replica, where are you? Ash, we're in... Never mind, I see it. Back. Damn it, first you put your voice in my head, now you're looking through my eyes? I'm close to Batical. I'll meet you there. Stay in the city. I'll be back in the manor. If you want to come see me there, be my guest. No, head to the port or something. I want to go back to my home. Fine, do what you want.
What did Ash have to say?
He's coming to meet us. I told him we'd be at the manor.
The manor? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, it's better this way.
Yeah, okay, let's go talk to Ash again.